Going big to secure the future of these magnificent birds, they have traveled more than 1,000 kilometers to their new home. Many of the birds here cannot be released, but their offspring are set to soar again. The Cape vulture is classified as a vulnerable species, something this project wants to change.
So vultures on a whole are globally threatened, with Africa facing an African vulture crisis. And the importance of vultures is actually, to keep the health of our environment in check. They are really our recycling species, so to speak. So it's really important that we do protect and preserve them. Without vultures, the results would be catastrophic, and you're looking at disease spreads, epidemics of, wildlife, livestock and human health, which would have devastating consequences. So it is really, really important to keep our vultures preserved, to nurture them in order for all of our benefits.
The large-scale vulture project at Shamwari is deemed a milestone for the 32-year-old establishment.
So there are 4 different enclosures that we've constructed in phase 1. This is the enclosure specifically that's been constructed for the Cape vultures, because they need a breeding cliff to make their nests and to lay their eggs. The other enclosures that you haven't seen yet is for the white-backed vultures and for the very severely damaged Cape vultures that can't fly. And then there's a 4th enclosure that's situated in the center of the game reserve. And it's a pre-release enclosure, and that's where the young Cape vultures that are about a year old, these are healthy birds, they will be released out of that enclosure into the wild, and they'll obviously have transmitters on them, and we'll be able to track their movement around Southern Africa.
The Cape vulture offspring will be released at Shamwari, as the Eastern Cape is the natural habitat of these birds. They will be monitored and their travels plotted. Farmers will be sensitized about the importance of these avians.
We know that structures like wind turbines and power lines can be a cause of death of these vultures. So we can't stop development completely. Development is something that's always going to be with us, but we have to find ways of mitigating the problems, and we need to find ways that we can live sort of in harmony with nature, and therefore it's quite important where these structures are being built. It would not be wise if the structures are built very close to facilities like this. We know we've got an energy crisis in South Africa, but I think we need to negotiate where we do what. But there can be a lot of conflict if we don't be responsible about these issues.
Phase 2 of the relocation program will see a non-releasable breeding pairs of lappet-faced, white-headed and hooded vultures and some additional white-backed vultures coming to the Eastern Cape. The offspring of these birds will be returned to the Northwest Province to be released into areas identified by the National Vulture Breeding Steering Committee, where the different species need bolstering. Gqeberha, SABC News, Shamwari.